Okay, so now let me address this. Let's go back to what a real estate pro is. And by the way, I'm going to give you the quick definition. Again, you can verify this by going to the IRS website. But here's what it is. You got to meet 3 rules to be a real estate pro. Okay? And by the way, it has nothing to do with having a real estate license. Although, if you're one of them might be a requirement, you'll see as I give you the 3 rules. I'm going to give you one by one. So if you want to find some white space or blue space on your page, to write them down. Here are the rules. Number 1, you need 750 hours minimum per year in real estate. 750 hours minimum per year in real estate. That includes anything that's real estate related. All right. First of all, 750 hours, if I break it down annually, that's 15 hours a week. Could you be a real estate pro part-time? Yes. Now, I said you need 750 hours in real estate activities. What's a real estate activity? Is selling real estate a real estate activity? Yes. Is managing real estate for others a real estate activity? Yes. Is sitting in a class to learn about real estate a real estate activity? Yes. Yes. The other words, is a land developer a real estate activity? Yes. Yes. Now, you don't need a license unless the activity you're doing requires a license. In other words, if you're selling real estate, you need a license. If you're a land developer, you don't need a license. You follow this? Because land developers don't need a real estate license. So if the activity you're doing in real estate requires a license, then yes, you need a license. So that's the first rule. Now, how does the IRS know you spent 750 hours? The answer is they don't. See, what you do is you file your tax return and you check a little box saying you're a real estate pro. You send it into the IRS and you never worry about it unless you're what? Audited. And then if you're audited, the only reason the IRS would ever scrutinize the 750 hours is if your income from real estate activities is really low. In other words, if I only made $2,000 being in the real estate business, and I check the box that I'm a professional, they're going to want to know exactly what I did for 750 hours to make $2,000. And by the way, if it's true and I have documentation, I'm telling you right now, you really suck. But if you make $20,000 a year, do they know you spent 750 hours? It's not even a question. It's only a question if your income is really, really low. Okay, so that's the first rule, 750. Rule number 2. You must be a non-employee in real estate. Okay, how do you know when you're an employee? Yeah, you're told when you go to work, you get a W-2, you're told when you can take breaks, you get a salary that has taxes withheld, correct? So when are you a non-employee? 1099. When you get something called a 1099, there are no taxes withheld, you just get paid basically based on performance. You're referred to as an independent contractor. 99% of real estate salespeople are independent contractors and they qualify under this rule. Now, also understand this. It's okay to be an employee someplace else that has nothing to do with real estate as long as your real estate activities are non-employee status. And if you are an employee in real estate, what it simply means is you're not a pro. Can you still do this? Can you still do what I taught everybody else gets? Yeah, because this rule is for everybody. The exception to this rule is being a pro. So if you're a non-employee, that's the requirement to be a pro. Third rule, and this is the big one. There are more words to this one. Third rule is this. 50%, 50, of your activities to earn income. 50% of your activities to earn income must be from real estate. %50 of your activities to earn income must be from real estate.
Is that 50% of the time?
50% of your activities. I'll explain. Watch. Here's how it goes. Now, by the way, remember this before I teach this. They only look at you, the person, not your spouse's income or their activities. Only one person needs to be a pro, and then you can offset all income from all sources. Here's what they look at. When I get up in the morning and go out to try to produce income, what am I spending my time on? And if 50% or more of my time is in real estate activities, I'm a pro. Now, for example, let's say that I'm getting into real estate, I'm brand new, and I need to pay my bills, so I still have another part-time job someplace else to pay my bills. Let's say I'm working 30 hours a week someplace else just to pay my bills, has nothing to do with real estate. Got this? But then I get into real estate and I work 40 hours a week trying to build my business, but there's no income yet. Did I spend 50% or more of my time to earn income in the real estate business? I qualify as a pro even though the money's not there yet. Because the theory is if I continue to do this, eventually should more money start coming from real estate than my other activity? Yes. So that's the rule. You must meet all 3 rules to be a pro. If you're not a pro, you go back to this. Now, one last comment. Some of you, as you listen to me today, too, and you hear this pro rule, you're going to get excited and say, gee, I really want to be a pro. And then I want to kind of knock you back a second and say, you know what? You're premature wanting to do that. There is no benefit of being a real estate pro until you have more than $25,000 of losses you want to bring to the wall. Some of you don't own any real estate at all. So therefore, why do you need to be a pro? You don't need to be a pro yet. You need to go buy a couple houses, buy a couple rentals. Then once you start building losses, then you want to go bring it through the wall, and you have these concerns about these limitations, that's when you need to be a pro. If you're below that, there's no need to be a pro. Okay? All right. It's a little bit after 12, so I want to just kind of summarize, because this is where we wanted to get to in your outlines. Before we break for lunch, I just want to make a couple of comments to kind of summarize this. Gang, what I've been trying to introduce to you this morning, or at least have an intro to, is how to play a game. It's a real simple game. A lot of you played it, and it's called Monopoly. How many people in this room ever played the board game Monopoly? Great. Tell me the mission of the game. You can see I would like to play Monopoly with a lot of you, okay? Isn't the mission of the game get the same colored properties first? Once you get the same colored properties, you put on 4 little greenhouses. If you have the greenhouse edition, move up to the red hotel, get as many hotels as you can, so you can charge the maximum rent till you get all the money. They're broke, you're rich, you win. Yeah. The mission is get as many hotels, though, because there's a limitation of how many hotels are in the game. The one with the most hotels ends up winning. Okay, now, why do I bring this up? Because investing in the real world is just like it. In other words, when people say to me, how do you invest in real estate, Dave? I want to give them the short answer and walk away. The short answer is this: 4 greenhouses, red hotel.